how are you today?
How are you?
Well, how are you this evening?
How are you?
Dude, oh man, every interview, he did the laugh. I mean, he went up on stage. You could hear him do the laugh on stage.
Definitely one of my favorite. That was hilarious. I just died laughing. I just died. It wasn't a bad show. I didn't think it wasn't as. I mean, it was as pointedly focused on the issues of the evening as I thought it was going to be, with the whole Time's Up thing and the whole Me Too thing and all that stuff. A lot of people talking about the defense fund, especially in red carpet interviews and whatnot. But
right,
I didn't think it was overdone. Granted, it kind of permeated the whole night. Everybody was dressed in black with the pins and all that stuff. But
I was interested to hear what you were going to think, what you were going to say about it, because I didn't think it was overdone.
I don't think it was overbearing, which was nice. I mean, yeah, Myers was just kind of He
was all right. He was good.
I thought his one Spacey joke was it was meh, but then it was the room was murmuring and stuff like that. And he's like, oh, really? Kevin Spacey, that's too far for Kevin Spacey. I thought that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, and I like how he made fun of his accent. I've never even watched House of Cards. You're the House of Cards guy. You know all about it.
He does a really good. It's a Carolina accent, and he does a really good Carolina accent. You can't listen. Kevin Spacey's a complete fucking scumbag, but that doesn't mean he is not a good actor. He really was good at his job. He really was a good actor.
No, I totally agree. In every way. It's that whole thing about how far do you go with, the people you look up to? Can you separate the art from the artist? And in some instances I can. I'm still always going to like his performances in the films that I love him in. I'm never going to go, because some people are of the mind that let's not watch it ever again. I can't watch that because he's in it and he did this whenever in his life and it ruins it for me. I get it if that's the kind of person you are. For me, I'm not looking at the person in their personal life on screen. I'm watching a performance from them and they're doing their job. So, I mean, there's that fine line there. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's me though. So anytime I watch Seven, still gonna love the shit out of him in that. I mean, American Beauty, among many.
Yeah, American Beauty is
Glengarry Glen Ross,
one of my favorite films of all time. American Beauty is right up there. I love that film, and you can't. I think we got into this discussion a bunch of other shows in the movie Pod Squad were talking about it, and even though Kevin Spacey's a complete scumbag, it doesn't take away from the genius of Sam Mendes' direction in that film, or the just beauty and perfection of Alan Ball's script. The amazing Annette Bening in that film is still amazing. It's still a fantastic film. Am I going to watch anything that Spacey does going forward if they release anything? I know he did film a couple of other things that might get dropped in 2018. I know that there's a couple other films. He did another one with Ansel Elgort and Taron Egerton, the kid from Kingsman. I was reading about a bunch of different stuff when I was putting together the most anticipated list. But who knows if they're going to see release. I mean, they may just sit on a shelf for years and years, and then finally, once the smoke, clears, or once the dust settles or whatever, and people aren't as riled up about it anymore, somebody will sneak them into a limited release just to get them out and just to try to make some money back on them or whatever,
Well, that's the unfortunate part, especially you just mentioned two really great young actors,
yeah.
And it's going to hurt them too, because
those performances are just going to sit on a shelf for how long now?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I kind of wish that Myers went a little bit, he dug a little deeper. I think he played it a little safe. Did
he have a choice not to, though?
No,
I don't necessarily know. That room was really, I feel if you would have pulled the wrong thread, the whole thing could have unraveled. You know what I mean? It was a super tense night. You could tell everybody was sort of on edge.
They definitely were. You could tell.
So
it didn't feel as fun as it normally does to me.
And the Oscars is going to be stuffy and boring and shit like it always is. So, you're not going to look for anything like that at the Oscars or whatever. But yeah, even the Golden Globes wasn't necessarily nearly as fun and and as bombastic as it usually is. It's usually a lot more unrestrained, but you know.
I mean, aside from the fact, some of the stuff that we didn't see, like during commercial breaks, when like, for instance, Tom Hanks like ran over to the bar to grab like a whole shitload of martinis to bring back to his table.
Oh yeah, I love when they come back from commercial breaks and everybody's standing and like milling about. And at one point during one of the commercial breaks, they just had Seth Rogen. He was just drinking the bottle of champagne just right out of the bottle. Like he just didn't even have a glass anymore. He was just drinking it straight out of the bottle.
Dude, I love, we might as well get into it now. We might as well get into it now because it's definitely my favorite part of the entire evening. Obviously, it was my number one for that pick. James Franco won for The Disaster Artist.
Yep.
And as we knew that he had said prior to this that he was going to bring Tommy Wiseau on stage.
When you saw him wave to him too, when he when he got up on stage, he waved to him to come down. So.
And I think that was part of the deal, basically. And I'm almost of the mind that Tommy would like begged him for, or like said, "You need to let me be on stage." Like I feel like he was pushing for that because he wasn't at the same table, and I was like,
"Yeah, I don't know where he and Sestero were. They were way
in the
off,
back, dude.
In the back, or
they were in the
balcony somewhere or something. I don't know where the hell they were.
They weren't far behind.
They only showed like one shot of Wiseau like the entire rest of the evening.
Yeah, he was behind so I think he was the layer up, like the floor up from the main floor.
Where all the TV people sit, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. But no, so when they showed up, I was watching some of the pre-show, the red carpet, and
that is by far the most frustrating thing about watching the Golden Globes is people getting awards for the TV stuff. And like, the wife just watched Big Little Lies. I caught bits and pieces of it, and like the parts of it that I did
need to watch this, dude. I feel like I need to watch this.
The parts of it that I did catch are really fucking good, and like the performances are fantastic. So I wasn't surprised at all that it cleaned house in all the acting categories last night. But anyway, like it's really frustrating for the Golden Globes because every time a TV award gets announced, it's like a 15-minute walk to the stage for the TV people to get their awards. This is why your award show runs fucking long, because you got to sit here and wait for 50 years for people to get down to the goddamn stage.
It does take a long time, and I always forget like that you have to go through so much TV stuff before you actually get to like the nitty gritty.
And they only toss like a supporting category and just here or there, to kind of get you through.
Yeah,
3 billboards, man. I was surprised 3 billboards cleaned up the way it did. I'm not gonna lie, really surprised.
I'm happy with Rockwell winning. I said if anyone was going to win out of that movie, I felt like it should be him, especially for acting. Now, I'm totally on board with Frances winning. I mean, obviously, she's great, and her acceptance speech was fantastic. I mean, when she's up there, there's no other human being or living thing on this planet that can amount to the power that she is. She's just, you can't not watch her, and she's so amazing.
Yeah,
so captivating. So I was happy. That was one of my favorite performances of the year, so happy about that. And man, Lady Bird, minus the fact that Greta was not nominated for Best Director, which Natalie Portman certainly called out. Here are all your male nominees.
Well, you know what the shitty thing was? The shittiest thing was they had right after the Best Director award, the next person that presented was Greta Gerwig presenting the little piece for Lady Bird. I was like, did you really just have her present this film immediately after the category that you snubbed her in? And then like you had, I don't know, was it? Oh, when Streisand was up on the stage when she was presenting the best picture there, and then she was talking about the fact that more women need to get nominated, more women need jobs in directing and stuff like that. And then they just cut to a shot of Greta Gerwig again. I'm like,
yeah. So I don't get it. Especially the whole thing, the politics about.
It's all Hollywood politics. That's all it fucking is. That's all these fucking award shows are really.
It's certainly, I feel like they went out of their way to do so much else to really promote everything and do such a good job. Like they just should have. She should have been nominated no matter what, even if she wasn't going to win, because I'm not going to lie to you, dude. One of my most favorite moments, again, out of the couple that I have, Del Toro winning Best Director. I mean, the guy is a genius. Let's be fair. We both know that he's made some movies that you and I don't like, but overall,
sorry,
he's a visionary director, and he did direct, in my opinion, my favorite film of 2017. I know you still haven't gotten a chance to see it, and I know there's probably a lot of hype well, I know you get to temper your expectations when you know that a lot of people are putting it their number one. But for me, just seeing a director that loves genre stuff so much, that's been a kid of monsters like myself, who still loves monsters, and mentioned that in his speech, like I almost cried, dude. I was almost on the verge of tears because of that. And like to see him win he won for a movie he wrote and directed about a woman that's mute that fell in love with Gilman, an amphibious creature that's not human. It's so heartwarming and so amazing to me. And I was so happy with that win. I mean, I don't know how the Oscars are going to go. I really don't.
The Oscars are going to go way differently. I don't think Three Billboards is going to get nearly the love at the Oscars that it did at the Globes. Period. Because you've got to remember, you fold together now the two categories. Now there's no musical or comedy category and all that. And, will you be able to sneak in nominations for different actors that, basically got a passing nomination as a comedic role, for something that is a more dramatic role instead? You know what I mean? So,
well, yeah,
you'll see
definitely.
Like Laurie Metcalf is going to definitely sneak into the best supporting actress conversation. It was great to see Janie win that award. I'm not going to lie, but.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, it was so hard for me. Like it was a tough decision. Just like we talked about last week on our best of 2017, it was a really tough award show. Like I was telling you pre-show, we were texting, and I'm like, I'm putting together my list for who I want to win. But then when the time came, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know. This could go either way. I was actually, after seeing Molly's game, I was thinking that Chastain was going to have a surprise win in her category. And I was pleasantly surprised that she didn't. But I mean, at the same time,
God damn it, she looked so hot last night.
She was so amazing, dude. And she's sitting next to Gal Gadot, gorgeous. Who, so great to see her there, and so great to see her presenting with Dwayne Johnson. And I had a great time watching them. And a huge shout out to Loy Sauce for coming over, and a huge shout out to my boy Spencer, my buddy Spencer, who came out to watch the show. Him and his girl, I got to meet his girl, and they came over to our community room downstairs. We drank good beer. We had some food. We just watched it and had a great time. So it's the first year, Nick, I've watched the Globes with anybody, because you know what? Usually every award show, the Oscars or the Globes, I'm sitting downstairs with beer legit by myself.
Yep.
And that's it. So it was a great time. And again, going back to it, there's no way around it. I loved seeing Tommy up on stage with Franco. I mean, what did you think about Franco basically like just Mike blocking him, dude?
I thought it was hilarious. And I thought number one, it's such a Tommy Wiseau thing to do, to be like, give me that microphone. It's definitely just a Tommy Wiseau thing. But no, that's Franco's moment. Like, a lot of people,
it's his award.
I saw people shitting all over Franco on Twitter, but like, no, you owe him everything because it was all based on what Tommy Wiseau did. And, you were him in that performance and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, on one hand, do I get that argument? Yeah, but I don't agree with it, because the film itself, like The Disaster Artist, is an incredible achievement in and of itself. And Franco's performance in and of itself is fantastic. He could have gone into it and he could have made Tommy Wiseau a joke. He could have just gone in there and made that character just look like a complete piece of shit asshole. And he didn't. He actually made, Tommy Wiseau look like, somebody who was passionate. And he definitely was. It's not like he wasn't when he was making The Room, but because of the kind of, public perception of The Room, it would have been easy to go in there and shit all over the whole thing. And he didn't. And that, to me, is a testament to how great Franco did in not only directing that film, but in acting in it as well. So that was Franco's moment. That, Tommy Wiseau doesn't need to be fucking grabbing that mic.
But here's the thing. I will say, though, it would have been nice for him to let him say something.
I think he wanted to, but then again, they were, I don't know if you realize this, but like literally it was like 30 minutes into the show, they came out and they were like, oh yeah, we're already running behind it. Christina Hendricks was one of the presenters that said it. Said they were already running behind like 30 minutes into the show. Like, what? Like,
yeah, dude.
I don't know how the fuck. So I think he wanted to. But they were already playing the music before Franco even finished, and I just don't think he could let him get in there.
Well, Franco had so many people, and that wasn't his first win, dude. He's already won a Golden Globe before, so he was hogging it a little bit. I just felt like if you had Tommy up there And Tommy had, since then said what he was going to say, which is very similar to what he always says about people going to see The Room, have fun, don't hurt yourself. His normal spiel, but it would have just been nice because that was his dream to say something. But then again, I asked you pre-show if you had watched any of the interviews that Tommy had been doing when he red carpet. I watched all of them that I could find today, him and Greg, and I'm not sure if you saw this or not. Dude, he showed up in a limo with Greg Sestero with posters of The Room taped over every single window on the limo. Such a Wiseau thing to do, but he wasn't like, he doesn't. He's so awkward in interviews, but I've watched plenty of them. But he corrected, I forget who it was. I think it was the Hollywood Reporter or Variety, one of the two. And a guy was like, "So all this added attention to your film, The Room, it's already had a cult status, but all this added attention, you're having a widespread release, which is the Fathom event, which is going to all the theaters that you're highly aware of." And then he's like, "No, young man, let me correct you. Can I please correct you? The Room has played 15 years straight every month." And like, I just thought it was funny because he keeps saying, you're a nice guy. I like you, but can I correct you, young man? It's dude, the guy's never changed. He's still the same thing. So,
he is.
I don't know how it would have gone if he actually got up to the mic, because you don't know what he would have said. He might not even have done what he was what he was thinking he was going to do. But
who knows?
Again, for me, that was my highlight to see. Think about it. 5 years ago, Nick, would you have ever thought we'd see Tommy Wiseau on stage at the Golden Globes?
That was great. That was a great moment. I loved that. I don't know, so much of that show was great. Oprah was fucking great. That speech.
We have to talk about her.
Amazing,
we have
dude.
to, even if it's in passing. Dude, how powerful was that?
Dude.
I had goosebumps.
And then she, like, just when you thought the speech was over, like, she just kept going and it got better. Like, you kind of got to that point where it was like, yeah, she definitely got there. Yeah, good speech. And then she kept going and it was like, no, now it's better. Now it's better. Now it's better. And man, like, I love the way that message resonated through kind of everyone in the room, and you could really kind of feel the tide shift a little bit, like, where hopefully you're not going to see this kind of fucking shitty ass behavior from men in Hollywood and shit like that anymore, and people in positions of power where they abuse other people and take advantage of other people, and where women and minorities and things like that don't get the recognition that they deserve and don't get the opportunities that they deserve, not even the recognition, but the opportunities to even try to get the recognition. Hopefully it's kind of a paradigm shift, and hopefully it's kind of a shift in the cultural landscape of Hollywood where you won't get to see this shit anymore, because you could really kind of tell, especially from some of the women that were on stage and some of the women that they were interviewing and stuff like that, like, they're done holding their tongues, they're done holding back, they're done. Like, Natalie Portman gets up on stage and just fucking rips it right off, the all male, best directors.
And I'm totally cool with that. I'm all about that. And I know that you are as well, because, dude, you know what? Dudes have been doing it for how many years? Dudes get up there every year and they do whatever they want. They say whatever they want when they get the chance. Seth Rogen was the perfect example of that. When he had his introduction to introduce the Disaster Artist, he went on way too long. He kept going and going and going and going. And I loved it. But this just goes to show things can at some point be more equal. They can be more balanced. And I will be completely frank with you. I was never the hugest fan of Oprah as like a celebrity personality or anything. Like, her show is good and everything.
I think the only film I've seen her in was Selma. I don't think I've ever seen her in any of the older stuff she did.
Oh, dude, The Color Purple, Spielberg's film?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Oh, dude. Oh my God, she's great in it. But as like a,
she was great in Selma when I saw that.
As an actress, though, she's amazing. And that speech totally put me into a different mindset. And I get why so many people, though maybe not totally realistic, but that are saying like, hey, Oprah for president. Dude, she had a better speech last night than our current president has had his entire, even before
Oprah could rule the fucking world if she wanted to, let's be honest.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I get why so many people are like, it was inspiring. And
she's one of those people. She's one of those celebrities. I mean, and yeah, say what you will about her or whatever, but she's one of those people who has done an extraordinary amount of good with the money and the status that she has earned over her life that, you can't take that away from her. Like, the number of people whose lives she has changed directly, through helping them with different various foundations and donations and whatever the case may be. I mean, it's immeasurable. It's immeasurable the kind of impact that kind of person has on the world. You know? And what a fucking speech she had. That was such a great fucking speech.
What amazing speech, man. I feel privileged and blessed that we had that kind of speech at an award show for movies, so right on for that. And overall, as we're closing out our thoughts on the show, I totally agree with you. I think Myers was good, not great. Unfortunately, it looks like the ratings were down way lower again this year. I think he tried. I think he was fine. I don't know who could come in to really shake that up. But overall, I thought it was a very enjoyable show.
He made a good point early on that, he was kind of, just being shot out of a cannon, out there in front of everybody, because he's really the first person that's hosting an award ceremony like this after all this stuff happened. So he is kind of the litmus test to go out there and test the waters and see what's going to work, see what's not. Nobody else is going to have that distinction. And, you can get into what's going to happen from here going forward. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I really don't. But I mean, yeah, it was a decent show. But I mean, in all fairness, like, ratings are down because, let's face it, these things are just giant Hollywood circle jerks. Nobody cares about them except for cinephiles like us. Like,
I know, it's true. Or people that like to just sit and watch celebrities and see what they have to say. And
I mean, people will tune in for like little segments of it and stuff like that. Like, oh, did my favorite thing win? No, click. I don't know, but either way,
for me, it's all about the experience, and for me, it's all about, especially the Golden Globes, because we know that they drink during it, but I didn't see anyone like.
Oh my God, do they drink?
But that's the whole thing for me. It's like, it's fun. Like, that's why I like to drink along with them, and really, because the Oscars doesn't feel the same way. They're two completely different things to me. Even though I love both, but it is what it is. It was a great time watching it with friends, and I think that brings me to the thought that we've never actually watched an award show together.
No, you're right. We never have.
But something strange happened though last night, Nick, and you had brought it to my attention that
I did.
Someone hijacked the Twitter.
It was around
for real.
Around 7-something o'clock. I get on to start live tweeting the pre-show, and I couldn't get in. And all of a sudden, all this stuff starts popping up over on the Twitter. The hoster, it was him. I don't know how he did it. He got a hold of some kind of device.
How the fuck did he learn how to use social media?
I do not know. I'm scared. He's got this kind of power now. Who knows what else he's going to end up doing? But yeah, he was in charge of it for the whole show, and I was amazed at how well he was able to spell some things and then not other things.
No, I know. Loisos was showing it to me because I have a Twitter. I don't use it. I don't really look at our Twitter all that often. Once in a while, I'll go on and look at it and fool around or whatever.
He kept calling out Loisos too.
I know. Well, he kept telling me, he was like, dude, did you know what's going on the Twitter? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to watch the show and drink beer and eat pizza and get fat. And he's like, no, dude, the Hopester is legit on Twitter. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I thought he was just bullshitting. And then no, I looked and he's like, dude, he keeps talking shit to me. I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy. Like, ladies and gentlemen, this is a big deal. Like, you need to like lock your doors because he's looking for a place to get in. I don't even know this is a bad thing. I'm scared now.
Is your door locked, Justin? Did you lock your door today?
Of course, before we record, dude, every single time before we record, every week.
Did you lock the balcony too? Because he likes to climb up the balcony and sneak in that way.
I did. Well, no, I did. I made sure to double check it because before we recorded, I went out to check because we're having freezing rain right now. We're having a winter weather advisory, and I'm praying that it's bad enough that I don't have to go into work tomorrow, even though I know that I probably will have to go in. But yes, I locked it. Yes, he can climb up that shit, man. Oh, God. He's back, man. He's back on the prowl. I thought we were rid of this son of a bitch. Yeah, man.
I think the word booze was used about 400 times during the 4-hour ceremony last night.
Man, I can't even imagine if he actually showed up at the Golden Globes.
Speaking of booze.
Dude.
We should talk about something that we do on this show every week. Number one, this is, like I said, this is just what we're going to be doing from now on. Whenever we introduce ourselves is whenever we introduce ourselves. So we are the Epic Film Guys. I am Nick.
And I'm Justin. And you know what? Yeah. There's this little thing that we like to do on the show every single week where we drink great beers. It's called, What Are You Drinking?
I'm back. Puke and rally. Woo! Give me
we already talked a little bit before recording about Justin's beer, so I'm actually going to let him go first because he's got an alcohol-fueled monster in front of him. Tell us about it.
Oh, God. So, well, I saw these guys promoting this beer. I was kind of scared to pick it up. The last time I had a beer that had the alcohol by volume percentage that this did, I actually had a great show, but the next morning was pretty hard to get through. This is the Aslan Brewing Company's Pinkies Up AV IPA. It is a quintuple IPA. They're calling it an AV IPA. This thing is 18.4% alcohol by fucking volume.
Good sweet Jesus.
Dude, the crazy thing about this is it is an IPA, but it doesn't drink like one. It has more of like the texture and complexity of a stout maybe, or a porter.
Drinking Drano.
Look, that as well, but probably more of like a stout, but it still has like the notes of an IPA here and there. The scary thing about this thing is it is 18% and it goes down really easy, like extremely easy. And I've had a lot of their IPAs, I've had a lot of their triples, and some of their triples can be a little bit boozy. And when I picked it up, dude, they literally like legit warned me. They're like, okay, so you can let it sit if you want. And I'm like, excuse me? They're like, it's good. It's fine. You can drink it today if you want. It's a little boozy, but you can let it sit if you want. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're trying to tell me. I'm buying beer from you.
Probably turns into fucking rocket fuel after 6 months.
$10 a can. And I grabbed two, one of which I gave to my boy Spencer, who came over for the Golden Globes last night, and he quite enjoyed it. So here's to you, Nick. It's pretty good. I don't think I'd ever do it again, but Aslan's my favorite brewery. So, hey, man, that's what's up. But I got to ask you. I'm sorry, sir. What do you have in that glass that you're drinking right now?
Oh, this show suddenly got a whole lot more formal. We're definitely shifting out of Golden Globes and into the Oscars. All right, well, I'm finishing up, Justin, a beer that I wasn't sure I was going to like when I first heard about it, and I avoided it like the plague for a while until I found it in Wegmans in a mixed 6-pack, so I decided to just grab one bottle of it to see if I would like it. This is Southern Tier's Cinnamon Roll. And I will preface this with saying that you have to love cinnamon to like this beer. You have to, because the cinnamon flavor in it is pretty potent, but not like overwhelmingly so. It doesn't feel like you're eating like a tablespoon of cinnamon. I hear people describe it like that before. It doesn't taste like that at all. It's an imperial ale, so it's not just a regular ale, something light that's like more in the 4 or 5% ABV range. They went imperial on this thing, and it's like 8 or 9% ABV. So it's got a little bit of booziness to it. It's got a little bit of body to it, which I think helps the cinnamon. And I mean, it legitimately tastes like you're eating a cinnamon roll. I mean, it's frankly pretty damn delicious.
You're saying it's good then. You're saying it's
pretty
good.
Damn
oh my
good.
God.
It is. I was surprised. I didn't think I would like it. I avoided it. This has been in the stores for months now. And I avoided it because I was like, no, that just seems terrible to me. Nope. It is actually pretty damn good. And on deck, I've got like 2 sips of the cinnamon roll left. So I decided to grab my second beer before we rolled into, the first segment proper here. And this is another one from Southern Tier. This is going to be one of their spring seasonals. This is their Blueberry Tart Imperial Sour Wheat Ale. And I'm going to actually...
Oh, that's a mouthful. Holy shit.
I'm going to try this for the first time now. Another pretty high ABV for a beer of this style, 8.5%. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give this a shot here.
It's a dessert night for Nick tonight, and it's a I'm getting boozed up night for me.
The blueberry's subtle. It's not overwhelming. The sour notes in it, like it's not a straight up goza, so it's not like pure sour. So it's just got kind of a hint of sour, a hint of tart. The blueberry, and it's very subtle. Really good body. This is a fantastic beer, actually. I would drink the shit out of this again and again and again. It's just kind of a mashup of styles, like a goza and a wheat ale kind of had a baby, and a nice blueberry back. It's blueberry puree they make it with. So yeah,
I love blueberry. Actually, yeah, I have to get that. I was disappointed. I talked to you when I was up there with you for Christmas that they didn't do Krampus, which is one of the beers that Southern Tier does that I love so much. And for some reason, I asked around up there, and people just said, "Well, they just didn't make it this year." I need to drink more of their beer, except for, I just don't want like the plain old, their regular IPA. Everything else I've already had 1,000 times.
Yeah,
but those
gotta
two
branch out.
sound good.
The cinnamon roll, I mean, like I said, if you love cinnamon, if you're a really big cinnamon fan, get it. If you're somebody who is indifferent about cinnamon, or if you don't like it, do not try it. You will hate it. You will think it is death in a glass.
I mean, I put the shit on my oatmeal. Does that count?
I mean, how much do you put on your oatmeal? Is it like cinnamon, or is it like cinnamon?
Well, I mean, it depends on my mood. I don't know. I really don't know. Sounds great, though. Oh, my God. You know how amazing it would have been if on the stage at the Golden Globes, if they all did that?
That would have been
amazing.
Fantastic.
In interviews, like, Franco was doing the Tommy voice. He's still got it in him. Like, he'll never get that
He was
out
still
of him.
doing it even
Imagine
when they
that.
interviewed him on the red carpet. He was
I
still
know.
doing
That's
it.
what
And
I'm
he did it
saying,
on
like-
stage. It's like, oh, my God. I love it, though. I love it. But we've got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight, Justin. We're going to give away some stuff tonight. I've got a
We're
special...
going to get nuts, man.
Yeah, I've got a special little present I'm going to give away. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work just yet. So we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out kind of after the fact. But we're going to give away, Justin, one
Boy
month.
sauce. We're giving him away. We're going to whore him out. You get him for a day, a full day.
Check.
Yeah. Do
I
what you
sucked
want
a
with
dick
him.
last night.
He hasn't agreed to that yet, just so you know, but that's what we're going to do with him. Is that what you were
mean-
talking about?
Well, besides giving away Loy sauce, definitely going to happen. But we're going to give away a 1-month subscription to our Patreon, Justin, so somebody can get a taste of
Yeah.
EFG Extended, so you can hear the extended cut of the show. Again, if you want to subscribe, it's only $1 a month. $1 a month, you get access to everything. I think I'm going to streamline our tiers a little bit, add some more rewards to some of the lower tiers, and probably flush out that highest level reward tier. It doesn't really need to be in there, I don't think. So I'm probably going to get rid of that. So I'm going to rejigger that probably over the next couple weeks or so. So look for that, especially if you're already a patron of the show. But yeah, it will always just be $1 a month, and you get access to all of our extended cuts, all of our extended content, all of our extra content, everything. You know, I don't have it tiered up. You get certain episodes at this dollar amount, certain episodes at this dollar amount. $1, you get everything. And of course, the main show, this show, the Epic Film Guys podcast, this will always be free. Last week's episode was an hour and 50 minutes long, for God's sake. So, you know, yeah, we're going to be giving away that. And Justin's got another digital code. We're going to be giving that away a little bit later.
Every week,
the
man.
show.
Every week I'm going to get nuts giving away these digital codes. Like, I'm going to go out of my way. And even if I have to go out of my way to buy shitty movies just to give you guys a digital code, it's happening because you guys have to get something. We are the Epic Film Guys, after all. And I want to give you guys something special every week. So
Give it to us,
It's
baby.
happening.
Ooh.
It's happening. I'm getting nuts.
Oh, okay.
No, Dan. No, I don't want to do that. Where is Dan? Dan's like non-existent anymore. I feel like he's gone away.
Dan's been busy. They still
Good
record
for Dan.
Netflix and Swill. I listen every single week to Netflix and Swill. They're doing the Swillies. This week is the Swillies, which is their big annual award show where they, you know, give away awards to their favorite shows and stuff like that for Netflix for the year. I'm eager to listen to that and hear, you know, where they landed on Netflix originals and stuff like that. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Can't wait to listen to that. So check it out if you never have. All right. And Justin,
Yeah, dude.
we're going to jump over into this week in EFG history. And then when we come back, it's time to talk about our most anticipated films of 2018. Are you excited?
Well, your most anticipated films of 2018. Mine is just whatever.
What's wrong with you?
There's a lot wrong with me. Yeah, you know what? We'll be right back.
This week in Epic Film History.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you. Really, really bad.
I am
You'll
actually
never
surprised that
replace
this is
Legend.
not your number one.
It's not my number one. I just honestly, I don't give a shit. I love everything about this. So it's my number 3, Suicide Squad.
My number 3 is Hail Caesar. Cannot fucking wait for that movie. It looks so good.
We already touched on this film previously, so I'll just throw it out there, get it over with. My number 2 is Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
All right, and we already talked about my number 2 as well, which is Suicide Squad. Justin, it looks like you and I are going to get to talk about our number ones together.
Because I know what it is. It's the same,
Yeah.
is it not? Tell me.
Do you plead? You will.
And I don't really think anybody that listens to our show is going to be at all surprised that Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice is number one on both of our fucking lists. I cannot fucking wait for this movie. I am the most ardent defender of Man of Steel because I thought it was fucking incredible. I don't care if you disagree.
I don't get the hype around this film. I mean, I get that it's going to be another cool comic book movie, but I don't understand why they keep giving Zack Snyder the keys to the kingdom as far as DC is concerned. Like, I thought Man of Steel was great. I love Man of Steel. But one of the things I do like about the Marvel Universe is they don't have the same director for each film. They have that revolving door, so we get different takes on different heroes. And with Zack Snyder, it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a dark, special effects driven. I mean, the stories are okay, but they're never really fantastic, and I'm a huge story guy. I love deep...
Yeah, but they haven't had Chris Terrio yet, though.
That is true. I think Terrio's script is going to be what's going to make or break this film.
We all know Goyer can't write a script to save his life. He's a good story person, but you never give him the chance to write the full script, and that's what we had for Man of Steel. So you got to give me credit on that much. I think Chris Terrio, bringing Affleck in with Terrio, especially for what he's done. You know, he's an Oscar-winning screenwriter. I think that for me, like, gave me the confidence, because obviously I could totally agree with you. If they're just going to let Snyder have carte blanche and then, hey, let Goyer write the script, I would have just took a few steps back and said, get the fuck out of here.
What are you doing down there, Judge Hershey?
Waiting for backup.
It's here, just like it was here at the Golden Globes. All three of my daughters are here.
I wanted to see a reunion.
No Rob Schneider, though.
I wanted to see a reunion of Stallone, Rob Schneider, and Diane Lane on stage. The 20th anniversary of Dredd was like 2 years ago, and they didn't do anything for that fucking Golden Globes. Fuck the Hollywood horn for. Fuck the Hollywood.
You just said horn press. You just said the Hollywood horn press.
Fuck the Hollywood horn press, those bastards.
I'll suck your fucking dick, you motherfucker.
Joseph, let us in so we can suck your cock.
What's up, my Nubian friend?
Welcome back, Wayne, apparently.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show, Wayne.
Welcome back to the Epic Film Guys podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And it's time, Justin, to talk about 2018. We've been so focused on 2017. I have to, because I spent so long making this damn list and searching for films that are coming out this year that, I don't know, I feel like it would be a disservice not to. And Justin's going to try really hard to maybe cling
well, I've been,
to whatever.
I've mentioned this, and the White House tells me that I'm being a negative, pessimist asshole because of this, but 2017 was such a great year.
It was.
If you didn't hear it enough out of my mouth last week, how hard it was for me to come up with my top of the year list, I've been dreading this moment. I did a small graphic for the Facebook page like a week ago. Your most anticipated for our fans, for our listeners of 2018, and going through the films, I just kind of felt like a feeling of emptiness and sadness inside myself. And I was like, man, it's not going to be anywhere near 2017. But well, we're going to go through the lists, and I'll throw you what I have right now. And as I preface my list every year, these lists will probably change as I learn about new films and we see stuff pop up. And Nick maybe even will as well. Who knows? Maybe Nick will actually get in excitement for a Marvel film, and he'll put it on his list without telling anybody secretly. So I don't know.
I guess we'll have to find out. Do you want me to lead off, or would you like to lead off the proceedings?
I would love to just throw it your way and hear what you have at your number 10, most anticipated of 2018.
All right. Well, the first film, number 10, on my list of most anticipated for 2018 is a film that was also on my list of films most anticipated of 2017, a year ago. This is... The working title was The God Particle. It's still untitled Cloverfield sequel. This was supposed to come out last year. The release date got pushed like 4 times until it hit February of this year. Now it's April of this year.
That's right.
And this is the third film in this franchise. It's a team of astronauts. Daniel Bruhl is in this film. He was in Inglourious Basterds, among other things. A team of astronauts engaged in scientific research in Earth's orbit make a discovery that leads them to terrible events. And, there's no promotional material. I have seen nothing about this film yet.
Zero.
Whether or not it does get released this year, who knows? But if you think about the Cloverfield films, both the original and 10 Cloverfield Lane, very, very quiet until a couple months before release. And then all of a sudden, bam, there's a trailer all of a sudden. And then marketing just starts blowing up for it.
I kind of like it that way. I really did.
I
And it
do
worked
like
really
that
well for 10 Cloverfield.
quieter, more guerrilla style, yeah.
And while you're talking about this, I might as well just be interjecting whatever I have because it's also my number 10. So yeah,
Whoa.
excited about it. But
I
it will
almost
be
just
hard.
stuck it in honorable mentions just because, but I loved 10 Cloverfield Lane so much that I'm really excited to see where this whole concept, this anthology concept that they're going for with Cloverfield goes next. So yeah, I loved that film, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Again, it's going to be really hard to follow up the amazing John Goodman. Man, I remember talking about that film with you, and man,
How great was it to see him and Roseanne Barr on stage at the Golden
I
Globes?
loved it.
Man?
I loved it. And I loved his response to a lot of reporters on the red carpet about, didn't Dan die? Of course, every single fucking reporter in the world's going to ask, well, didn't Dan die? And he's like, that's Hollywood, baby. And
Yep.
rightfully so. It was great seeing them there together. I actually can't wait to watch the new show. And I'm really hoping it's not another Fuller House situation. I'm really hoping it could be a relevant
I hope
show.
it goes more in the direction of, because I've heard that, the Will and Grace revival was nominated for Golden Globes last night.
It was, yeah. Man.
So yeah, I'm really hoping it goes more in that direction where, they recapture that old magic. And I really think, come on, they hit it out of the park with the comedic aspect of that show every single time. So I really think they will. I think
Dude, it could be more relevant than ever right now.
It
so,
really,
yeah,
really
so,
can.
But
so.
you know what? Dude, you just got my number 10. Your
Oh,
number
yeah.
10.
Both
Go
of
right
them off
back
the
to you
board.
for your number 9, bro.
All right, we're getting indie. We're getting
Yeah.
indie already, baby. And this one still doesn't have a release date. So it's very likely that this will get a limited release in like December, and it'll get wide release in like January 2019. So I probably
So
won't
what you
be able
mean
to see
is
it.
I'll probably see it before you.
You'll see it before me, definitely, 100%. But Barry Jenkins, who directed Moonlight, which won the Oscar for Best Picture last year, is directing a film this year that's called If Beale Street Could Talk. Okay, and essentially it's a woman named Tish is trying to search for evidence to exonerate her lover, Fonnie, who is falsely accused of and imprisoned for rape when she finds out she's pregnant. And, just going solely on Barry Jenkins, it's the only reason this is on my list. It's got a list of actors I've never heard of before.
Dude, Dave Franco, though. Wow.
Oh, who's heard of Dave Franco? Nobody.
Oh, hi.
But, I mean, other than that, though, Barry Jenkins, just on how great Moonlight was, this had to make my list, so I fit it in right here at number 9.
How great of you. Well, my list will probably be nowhere near as filled with indie stuff that I'll be seeing
It's good,
probably
though.
before
It's good
you.
because that way it'll be diverse. I have a feeling that the God Particle is going to be one of our only crossovers.
Probably.
Actually, no, I
well-
think 1, 2, there's at
Well-
least 3 or 4 more that you're going to have on your list, guaranteed.
Well, either way, what I came up with for my list, ladies and gentlemen, is basically what I could come up with on my little bit of time to research because I'm a slacker. That's right. Call me a slacker, Mr. Strickland. Mr. Strickland, call me a slacker. That's right. Didn't that guy ever have hair? But no. The next film is one that I'm actually semi-excited for, but I'm more interested to see with what they're going to do with it. It is Venom. And there's one major reason why this is on my list, for the simple fact that Tom Hardy is playing Venom. Now, I know our own director, Brennick, from Netflix and Swill, doesn't like Venom. He says he's a boring character. I disagree. I love the character, and this is
off, Justin.
we've never seen. Thank you, Dan. I love you so much. This is going to be the first time we've seen this character done justice in a cinematic fashion. I know that people are worried because Ruben Fleischer, who is directing the film, well, let's just face it, he's only directed one film that most people like, that's Zombieland, and I really enjoyed that. We'll see what happens. I love when a director has done only a couple of good movies, and he comes out and he does a really good one, or at least a decent one. This is Sony's hand directly in the comic book genre still, with their grasp on it. So
Divorced
this is coming
from
out
the MCU.
previous to, the whole new merger and everything, and we'll see how it fits in. But again, Nick, I have to tell you, just because I love Tom Hardy so much, I rewatched Dunkirk over the weekend. I'm like, man, this guy's always got like masks on or something covering his mouth. I'm really excited to see what this character is going to look like, how they're going to portray him. And it's going to be brutal. The description is that it's going to be horror science fiction, which is how that character should be. So it's on my list at number 9.
All right. Well, I'm going to move on to my number 8. We're going to stay right in indie territory for this, even though I bet you this gets a wider release. One of my favorite films that came out 5 years ago now, Justin, was 12 Years a Slave, directed by Steve McQueen. He's finally back in the director's chair, directing a film called Widows, starring probably my favorite actress working at the moment, Viola Davis. Also stars Elizabeth Debicki, Michelle Rodriguez, and Cynthia Erivo. They are the widows of 4 armed robbers. Liam Neeson is Viola Davis's husband in this. The robbers are killed in a failed heist, and then the widows decide that they're going to finish the job. I love Steve McQueen. I love what he did with 12 Years a Slave. And yeah, Viola Davis, like I said, is probably my favorite actress working today.
Daniel Kaluuya, John Bernthal, Colin Farrell, Robert Duvall, Michelle Rodriguez. Holy shit. Man, seriously, you should have just told me your pick so I could copy you before the show.
Have.
Really?
See,
Come on.
That's the great thing is now I can surprise you with all these things that you had no idea were even coming.
If I put 5 minutes of effort in, I may have found
this one's going to come out in November.
Great.
And like I said, this one, I would be willing to bet you, especially with Davis in the leading role of this thing, I would be willing to bet you it gets a little bit wider of a release. So yeah, my number 8, Widows from Steve McQueen.
Man, that just sounds so good. I swear. Oh, man, that cast, though. Holy shit. And Liam Neeson not being, well, it does have to do with something violent, criminal activities. So, well, it makes sense that he's in it. All right, so my number 8 is a little film that is following quite a big film from 2015. It is Sicario 2.
Ooh.
And there's a huge reason why I'm excited for this. Now, we had discussed pre-show the fact that Emily Blunt will not be back in the film, but we do have Brolin and Benicio del Toro returning in their roles. And of course, written by Taylor Sheridan, who wrote and directed one of my favorite films that made my top of 2017 list last week with Wind River. This guy just, I swear to God, anything he writes or has his hand in, I'm going to be interested in. And the first Sicario, I think that at first I was expecting something a little more phenomenal than what I got. And then I rewatched it again, and then I really, really got it and really enjoyed it a lot more. And man, the cinematography in that thing. And I know you have not yet gotten a chance to see Sicario.
Still have not seen it, unfortunately, which is a crime considering how much I love Emily Blunt and I love Denis Villeneuve. So yeah, criminal that I have yet to see that movie. But
I mean, when it comes to like these modern westerns or anything that takes place,
well, and Taylor Sheridan too, because
areas,
I love Hell or High Water and Wind River. So
yeah, his hands in it. He
get on the ball,
it.
Nick. Come on.
I know that's what I'm telling you. But dude, I love Del Toro when he's in great form, and I love Brolin when he's in great form. And
that was for me, not for Benicio del Toro.
The trailer actually played in front of a movie I saw last week at Alamo Drafthouse, and I was like, man, that it's not going to have, I don't think, that Villeneuve touch, but I think it still could be pretty good, and I'm excited to see where they go with it. So that is my number 8.
Ooh, baby. All right, well, jumping into my number 7, a film that I know will be on your list, and if it's not, I will be shocked. Shocked, I say, because I know how much you loved Creed, and I know how much you love Rocky. So my number 7 is Creed 2. Now, Ryan Coogler, not back in the director's chair. Stephen Caple Jr., this is really his first big studio film, is going to be directing the film. Stallone wrote the script with someone else whose name is escaping me at the moment. Ivan Drago, apparently, is going to be back. Justin, is going to kind of revolve around, the man who killed Apollo Creed. Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, obviously back for this one as well. So, yeah, I loved Creed. It was a sleeper hit for me. I'm not nearly the Rocky fan that Justin is. So for me, when I saw that film, I was blown away by how good it was. And I'm really, really excited. Michael B. Jordan's one of my favorite young actors. I absolutely love watching him. It's going to be such a sad moment for me when I don't watch Black Panther, because I'm sure with the 2 minutes of screen time Marvel gives him in that movie, he'll be phenomenal.
Guess what? You are going to see Black Panther, because I'm going to put up a poll on the page, and our fans are going to determine.
Our fans will always vote against me literally every time. I will never win a poll.
The simple fact is that you will be seeing it. You're going to be seeing it. You're going to see
nonetheless, that is my number 7. I'm actually very, very excited for that movie. It comes out in November. Super excited for it. I know I'll definitely get a chance to see that one. Creed 2.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit higher on my list. But next is a movie that, well, I'm just going to be completely honest with you about it. It made my list because I loved the first one. Well, whatever number it is, the 4th one in the franchise, but the first one in the new series so much, which you gave a lot of shit to it. But I'm optimistic for it, even though the trailer didn't wow me. It is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. I love my dinosaurs. No.
You and your fucking Raptor squad.
No, I love the Raptor squad. I want to see the whole group back. Too bad we're only getting Blue out of it. I really am hoping that we get the horror elements back in the film. You can see that it goes a little bit darker. I don't want it to be so Hollywood. I want to see what they're doing with it. And, I'm optimistic, Nick. I'm being completely honest with you. Like, the first trailer did not really do all that much for me other than the visual aesthetic and seeing that they're trying to go a little bit more scary. They're bringing more dinosaurs into it. And for a lot of fans, that's really all they care about. They just want to see a lot of these characters back that they like, new dinosaurs. I really don't see this franchise going off and doing much more than where it's going right now. Pratt looks like he's already phoning it in the trailer, but I liked the chemistry overall that he had with Bryce Dallas Howard, and we'll see what happens. It's got to be on my list because Jurassic World was one of my favorite movies of 2015. Remember? It was in my top 5. Yeah, baby. I love my T-Rex, baby. I love my T-Rex. So, and I knew it wouldn't be on your list, and I knew you'd talk shit, so I put it on here just to piss you off, and you don't seem nearly as pissed as I was hoping you would be. So, no shit talking
I
from
think
Nick.
It'll be, I don't know. I would like to see a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie, whatever the case may be, where they don't really, don't focus on running from the dinosaurs as the main focus of the plot, and I think you're going to have a hit on your hands. I think if you just focus on that kind of aesthetic that's been in all 4 of the other films, then you're just going to be like, well, this is just the same film again a 5th time, and I don't think anybody really wants to saddle up for that. So I'm interested to see if they can put a different spin on it, but I'm not nearly as excited for that film as you are.
Hey, man, in the trailer, you see Rexy, the original T-Rex from the first Jurassic Park.
She's still kicking.
And they use the original sound clip that they used at the end of Jurassic Park when she roars. That was enough to make me come in my theater seat, so. All right, you got me. You got my theater ticket. All right, whatever. But on to you, Nick. What do you got for your number 6?
All right. Well, this is a film that is only this low. It would be higher if not for the production drama that has encircled this film. Bryan Singer fired from production about a month ago, and now Dexter Fletcher has come in to kind of go through post-production and finish putting the film together. This is Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic. Rami Malek is going to be Freddie Mercury in this thing, following the band's early days up to their performance at Live Aid in 1985, which is widely regarded as one of the best rock performances of all time. I love Queen. Who doesn't love Queen? Who doesn't love Queen's music? Freddie Mercury is and will always be one of these amazing, larger-than-life figures whose life was tragically cut short by the AIDS epidemic when it, hit back in the 80s. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see where this goes, especially with all the production drama. The film was mostly finished. I don't think that Fletcher had to do much in terms of principal photography, but it's going to be all post-production and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that you mentioned how Singer was booted off this, because he was just booted off as executive producer off something else X-Men related just today, actually. So things aren't looking good for Bryan Singer, but this is definitely something that's going to make my honorable mentions list because of the simple fact that let's face it, Freddie Mercury is if not the best, one of the best rock singers of all time as far as his range, his personality, his stage presence. I mean, there's very few people that can actually live up to what Freddie Mercury was. And I'm really excited to see this. But my main worry is, and this is why I'll be honest, it's not on my top 10 list, is because of the simple fact that, well, number one, Singer started directing it, okay, even though it had a great cast. And then, well, Dexter Fletcher came in, and, well, he directed like that Eddie the Eagle movie. And, well, we'll see. I have hopes for it. I really hope it's good. But Queen has their hand in it as well. And I know they want to like dumb down a lot of the shit, a lot of the drugs, a lot of the sex, and make it more about Queen than about Freddie. I still wish Sacha Baron Cohen was still doing it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's
I'm
one of those
excited
things we
for it.
talked about that ages ago on the show too. Where
Yeah, we did.
I'm
We
glad
did,
they didn't
yeah.
go in the direction that they wanted to, because originally the band. That's why this film kind of sat in development hell for a few years, because the band wanted like half of the film to be about, you know, their time with Freddie Mercury, and then the rest of it to be after Freddie Mercury. And listen, I love
Who
Queen.
gives a fuck
Everybody
about
loves
that?
Queen, but nobody gives a fuck about Queen
No, they
after
don't.
Freddie Mercury died. Nobody does.
They don't.
Period.
No one does.
So
Zero. I mean, well, they're actually, well, to be fair, if any of you out there listening, like you've paid money to see them without him, because they do tour still once in a while. I mean, tell us, and then we can tell you.
I mean, it would be
that you're
great for
wrong.
like a nostalgia thing, like just to see them or whatever, but it's not anywhere close to the same thing. You know?
I totally agree with you.
So,
I totally agree with
whatever.
you.
That's my number 6, Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic with Rami Malek, who is a great actor. So I really think he'll do the role justice. The promotional photos that they've released of him as Freddie Mercury are fucking spot
as we're
on.
talking, Nick, I'm looking at all these behind the scenes photos of him in the role, and
Yeah.
oh my god,
They
I
are
didn't even know these
spot
were being
on.
released yet. We try to post all this stuff to the Facebook page, but man, there's some stuff that slips by us, and holy
Yeah.
shit, these photos are great.
There's some good
But-
stuff.
Moving on to my number 6, here's a movie that a lot of our listeners, a lot of people that love epic film guys, they're going to find this criminally low on my list. And we know that this won't show up on Nick's list. Well, because there's a new word for Nick, actually. I found out through the grapevine. He's the epic Marvel hater, actually. So that's a term
Sounds
coined
like
for you.
me.
By the way, that's a term coined for you, but it is
like it.
Avengers Infinity War. The reason for this, it's on my list because of the fact that the trailer got me really excited, which I talked about on the show when we did epic previews when it first hit. But the Russo brothers are doing this, and I'm really excited to see where they leave this off, because we have so many awesome characters coming back. We have Black Panther, Josh Brolin's Thanos finally coming into play, and he looks fucking awesome in it. Cap is coming back, and who knows? I think this probably will be Chris Evans' last time holding the shield. It is the end of an era per se, because at this point in time, I mean, these guys' contracts, they're done. Robert Downey's contract's done. Hemsworth's contract is done. I just want to see this be a befitting ending. And it looks epic as fuck. I don't care what you say, Nick. You haven't watched like the last couple of these movies, except for you watched Guardians too. We know how you felt
Which
about
was
that, but
shit.
it was not shit. It was not. It was a very fun movie. It wasn't the best movie, but it was very fun and it was very heartfelt. But this to me looks like the kind of comic book movie that, on an epic scale, that I want to see, and I'm really excited for it. So Avengers Infinity War at my number 6.
All right. Well, cracking into the top 5s, Justin. And this is a film I am super, super excited about once again because of the writer-director that is attached to this, as well as another one of my favorite actresses. This is Alex Garland's Annihilation, his follow-up to Ex Machina.
Criminally low. Criminally low.
There's
on
some
your
other
list.
stuff coming up you may like to hear about whenever you hear about it, but this one I am super, super excited about as well. I am so happy, reading about all the production drama. This is going to be distributed overseas via streaming on Netflix, and it was because who is it? Skydance, the CEO of Skydance, who's producing the film. David
they said
Ellison,
it was too intellectual.
too intellectual,
right?
and he wanted to change the ending. And Scott Rudin and Alex Garland said no, they want to leave it as is. They don't want to change the ending, and they won. So you're going to see Alex Garland's vision when you see this film, and I think that that's fantastic. So I'm super excited for this. Natalie Portman always knocks it out of the park. She's always fantastic. So it's going to be really, really exciting to see what they can come up with, and especially, Ex Machina was one of my favorite films of 2015. So I cannot wait cannot wait to see what they have in store
Well,
for Annihilation.
That may just show up on my list a lot higher. Like,
I'm sure it
legit
would. I knew it would
lot
probably be a little bit higher on your list.
But moving on to my number 5, it's a film you already discussed. It is Creed 2. Very excited about it. But to be honest with you, my excitement comes from the fact that Creed had such great talent behind it. This is a film that Sylvester Stallone actually dabbled with the idea of directing himself. And he actually opted out of that, which is a good thing because we've seen what he's done directing. He's a great director. But seeing
I'd
his
love to
performance,
see him focus on performance like he did with Creed.
I mean, dude, shit. Look at what he got for nominations when he played this character, and it just goes to show his talent. Like, I was really upset when he didn't win at the Oscars, but I mean, he did win the Golden Globe, which is awesome. It's one of the biggest characters in cinematic history. My main thing is I'm worried that they're gonna put him in the ring again, and if they do, like I'm gonna walk out of the theater if I see Stallone die in the ring. I mean, we don't need that, but I'm very excited. To
We
see
don't
where they
need
go
that.
with
The
this.
franchise doesn't need that. I mean, no.
What I really want out of this, though, is because I love the character Adonis Creed very, very much. Like, that's my main interest in this, is that this can be a franchise that is a spin-off from the original Rocky franchise and focus on Creed. My main thing is Michael B. Jordan is so amazing in that role, and he's so perfect, and he felt like Creed. He had the aura of Creed, but in a modern way. His performance literally carried that entire film with Stallone in the background. I loved it. Will it be as good as what Coogler did? I don't know, because Creed that was one of my favorite films of the year, that year as well. But we'll see what happens. Boxing movies come and go, but this is called Creed 2, motherfucker. Okay. We all love Apollo Creed, and, I'm really excited for it. So that is my number 5.
All right. Well, my number 4, Justin, is a director who I absolutely love. So yeah, I had to put this a little bit higher on the list. It is Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs. Playing around with stop motion animation with dogs. It's dystopian Japan. One of the most impressive voice casts that has to have ever been assembled for a film. I could go through them. I'd be sitting here for 5 minutes reading off like everybody.
All I know is Murray Goldblum, among others.
Bryan Cranston showing up in this.
Yeah,
like, it's impressive.
Cranston's the main dog, right?
I think so. Yeah, but the cast list is incredible in this thing, and I love Wes Anderson. I loved Grand Budapest Hotel. I love his movies. Moonrise Kingdom,
me too,
fantastic. Man. We saw that at the Art Theater. We talked about that last week on the show.
You put your hand on my pants when we saw that together at the Art Theater.
Shh, don't tell them about that.
God bless the Art Theater.
God damn it. But yeah, I'm super excited for this one just because it's Wes Anderson. A lot of my stuff is director heavy in terms of my list here. I noticed that as I'm kind of reading up through it now.
Well, you know, for him though, let's talk about it for a minute here. Yeah. Wes Anderson could basically be doing whatever he wants to do.
Really?
And yet he's making another stop motion animation film. Very much like The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is one of my favorite films of his. I love that film. It's exciting to see this, actually. I think it's on my honorable mentions, so I'll say that now. But I love seeing that this is so high on your list, Nick. I have to say, that's a very interesting choice.
I love Wes Anderson so much.
He's great. I can't wait for this as well, actually. I'm shocked that I have not yet seen this trailer in theaters. Actually, last week, we were sitting around doing our whole family thing when Kaya got back from Christmas time, and she was talking about trailers of films that she wants to see in 2018. And then I said, well, have you seen the Isle of Dogs trailer? And she hadn't seen it. And I showed it to her, and then she got really excited. And then as a family, we were all like, that's a movie we're all really excited to see. So it sucks that it's not a movie that's getting a lot of love as far as like promotion and stuff. But dude, Anderson could do whatever he wants at this point, I feel like. And I love that he's doing something like Isle of Dogs. It looks fantastic.
All right. So yeah, that is my number 4. Over to you for your number 4.
Well, it's just a little movie. You know, to be completely honest with you, I don't think anyone's anticipating this movie at all whatsoever. It's following another movie that came out that was just like all the rest of the genre. Wasn't funny, wasn't witty. it had a lead that he finally made his mark in the genre and played the character right, but no one cared. I'm talking about Dead Motherfucking Pool 2. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Son of a bitch. My number 3, so we could talk about it together because that's coming right up on my list as well.
Yeah, dude. I mean, seriously, come on. Really? How can you not be excited for a sequel to Deadpool? This is supposedly scheduled for June 1st of this year.
Yep.
And everything we've seen so far gets me just as excited, even though, hey, we got another director in the director's chair.
You know what was funny? When I was reading today, I was doing this list, I pulled up the Deadpool 2 Wikipedia page. Go read the plot description for this movie on Wikipedia. It's fucking hilarious. I don't know where it came from, but it is absurd as hell.
Okay, let me look it up. Okay. After surviving a near fatal bovine attack, a disfigured cafeteria chef struggles to fulfill his dream of becoming Mayberry's hottest bartender while also learning to cope with his lost sense of taste. Searching to regain his spice for life, as well as a flux capacitor, Wade must battle ninjas, the Yakuza, and a pack of sexually aggressive canines as he journeys around the world to discover the importance of family, friendship, and flavor, finding a new taste for adventure and earning the coveted coffee mug title of World's Best Lover. Oh my God. That's the movie everyone wants to see.
I have no idea where this shit comes from. That it has to be something that, the PR team for Deadpool submitted to Wikipedia to be put as the plot summary or something, because that's just hilarious.
And that's too good to be true. I mean, this movie, let's face it here. I don't even look at this as a comic book movie. I know you don't either, honestly, because it's so far removed, I feel like. Even though, like, the action, we were looking at characters and costumes and whatever else, like, it's just something else. It's a different thing to me. It literally broke the mold of what we think of as a comic book movie. It
broke the box office as well.
It did. And it led a lot of studios to believe, like, hey, we can make an R-rated movie with lots of raunchy humor and lots of great brutal action and still make a lot of money. And you know how happy I am, Nick? Because we talked about it on the show when we first saw Deadpool. Our main worry was that copycats were going to come out of the woodwork, and I'm so happy to talk about it with you now that never happened. That's not a thing now. There's not like a whole shit ton of R-rated comedy action adventure comic book movies coming out trying to steal the thunder of Deadpool. This is just a Deadpool thing, baby.
Yeah, it's interesting that we haven't seen any more people trying to kind of ape that style a little bit, but I'm fine with that. I love the trailer for this where it's Deadpool in the Bob Ross gear painting a stupid picture and everything.
I'm really excited to see actually like a real trailer, the like real footage from the film.
I am as well.
We know that a lot of people were really pumping in their favorites for Cable, which is a very iconic character from the X-Men universe. And well, you had what you had to say about it, but I'm happy with Josh Brolin. And even though he's also Thanos, now, which, as we know now, Deadpool's now part of Disney. So he's playing 2 Marvel characters. Kind of weird. We'll see where it goes, but I like him in the role. And if we've seen the pictures, I like it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I am so pumped. I love the first film. The first film it's hilarious. It's brutal. It's just it goes right for the guts and right for your intestines and everything like that. And it leaves
right
you just
for the throat,
right for the throat, right for the jugular. And it's a great movie. So I'm really hoping that the sequel can kind of try to reach the heights that the first film did. It's going to be really tough for it to match the quality.
Yeah, and, dude, most definitely.
Kind of the hilarious timing and the pacing of the first film. I feel like this one might be a little bit slower, have some funny moments and everything like that, but it might just be a little bit more procedural, if that's a thing or whatever. But yeah, super excited. That's why it's your number 4. It's my number 3. So that brings it back around to you for your number 3.
Da 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 da.
You believe in Jesus? Yes, I do. Well, you're going to meet him.
This is a movie that's on my list right now because, well, this man made one of my favorite movies of the last 3 years. This man was in the original film of this franchise, and it's written by himself and a man that has directed and written like a bunch of movies that we love. Monster Squad, Night of the Creeps. Baby, I'm talking about The Predator. This has to be on my list.
Ooh.
We've seen nothing from this. Zero from this. This is supposed to come out in August. We don't really know much about this movie. Other than Jacob Tremblay is in it. Olivia Munn is in it. Thomas Jane's in it. Edward James Olmos, which is my boy, Castile from Miami fucking Vice. There's no like actual description of this movie, Nick. Isn't that weird?
Hang him, kill him, hang him, hit him.
That's your description right there.
Well, that's
what
well,
the Predator is going to try to do.
The Predator will do that.
Yeah.
We've got an official poster. The film is supposedly finished principal photography. This is a franchise that could definitely do with a great reboot. I liked Predators, and I love the first film. None of those alien versus nonsense things, whatever those things are. No, thank you. But Shane Black made The Nice Guys. It was a film that you and I both loved. White Sauce loved it.
Oh.
So fucking good. And it was meant
so
to show
sad
that
more people didn't get out to a theater to see that movie.
You know what I'd rather have?
Because now they're
I'd rather
developing it into like a female-led like TV series.
Well, which is fine. But
I'm fine with that. But like, I really would have loved to see more installments
That's what I'm
with
saying,
Gosling
Nick.
and with Russell
I'd
Crowe.
rather
in
have
the
this
theater,
number
man.
3. I'd rather have this number 3 be The Nice Guys Part 2.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really would. But I love the Predator franchise for what it is. You can say what you want about I'm getting too old for this shit for the Part 2. I know Nick's never seen Part 2. He should though. You should see Part 2.
I fucking hate the Predator. It's so stupid. I don't even like. No, I don't care.
You're going to see the first Predator. You're going to watch it again and again. If we're going to be doing anything about the Predator, you're going to watch the original again.
Fucking
And you're
hate
going to
the
watch
Predator.
2, and then you're going to watch Alien versus Predator, then you're going to watch Alien versus Predator Requiem, whatever. But no, it's at my number 3. Again, it's Shane Black coming back to the series. He's in the first fucking movie, and I'm just really excited to see where they go with it. There it is.
All right. We're getting into the top stuff here, top 2s. My number 2, Justin, and I don't know if this is a film that you're even aware of because it wasn't a film that I was aware of, but I have a feeling that if you were aware of it, it would be on your list somewhere.
We'll
This
see.
comes
We'll
out,
see.
It comes out in October. It's from Damien Chazelle, La La Land, Whiplash. Of course, it's going to be directing Ryan Gosling, who's going to play Neil Armstrong. It's a film called First Man. It's a biopic of Neil Armstrong in the years leading up to the Apollo 11 mission, where, of course, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. As soon as I found out that this was a thing, like, my boner got super hard because I love
Did you know
Damien
that I
Chazelle.
posted the news of this right on the page as soon as it hit?
You probably
It's
did
okay.
somewhere. I don't
It's
remember,
okay.
but either
okay.
way, I love Damien Chazelle. I mean, Gosling is Armstrong. Great choice. I love Gosling. So I'm super excited to see this movie. I had to put it all the way up here at number 2. I love outer space exploration. Like, all of these elements to me just, ooh, it smells good. It smells
Very
like it's gonna be
interesting.
something great. I can't wait. I'm so fucking excited.
It sounds great, actually. And another movie that John Bernthal is just randomly showing up in. Wow, he's just making his
He's
rounds,
just in
man, all
everything,
these
man.
supporting roles.
Yeah.
Seriously, And, you know, I'll be very interested to see how they handle the whole legendary space mission. Only because, well, you know, the public consensus at this point, like, I feel like 70% of the country believes, well, actually, I'll be more realistic. 60% of the country believes that we went and walked on the moon, and the other 40% is skeptical or thinks that we never did. I don't know how they're going to handle that. It's such an interesting premise for Chazelle to handle.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that Gosling's in that role. I won't lie to you. I totally forgot about this. We did report this on the page, but we haven't seen a trailer or anything for it. We've seen nothing from it
Yeah,
other than
nothing
the original announcement that, you know, Gosling was going to play the role with Chazelle directing. So
Even still,
Really pumped for this,
that's
actually.
a fantastic pairing. We've already seen it bear incredible fruit in La La Land. So, I mean, yeah, and like I said, it's outer space exploration. It's Neil Armstrong. You know, I'm super excited for it. I cannot wait for it. So yeah, my number 2, First Man.
Is Gosling just going to stand around and stare at the stars for like 15 to 20 minutes of the runtime?
I hope so.
With his dead ass stare.
He'll just sing
my
City
number-
of Stars.
City of Stars. Yeah, number 2 is a film you already talked about, but it's Alex Garland's Annihilation. Regardless of what this film turns out to be, Loisa's got to see a huge chunk of footage from this a couple months ago and was really wowed by it. The trailers look really interesting to me.
Sound check.
Keep quiet, Loisa's. You're not on this episode. I know you want to be, but no, you're not. And get out of here.
I
Go
sucked
puke in the
dick last
bathroom
night.
again.
Ooh.
Is that what it's from? Is that what you're puking from? Oh, was it too long? Did it go down too far? I'm sorry.
Got a little dick. It's pathetic.
I am so excited for this movie next month. I just want to see great science fiction. I want to see great science fiction in an intellectual way. And well, I'm very pumped for it. So there's my number 2. So on to you, Nick.
All right. Well, this one's a little weird. And I about came in my pants when I found out that this film is going to get released this year. This is a film from probably my favorite director of all time, Orson Welles. This is a film called The Other Side of the Wind. It's a film that he shot between 1970 and 1976. And principal photography was completed. You know, obviously long-ass production schedule. Welles notoriously had huge problems financing films. A lot of different films that were, you know, partially completed or whatever. This one was fully shot but was never completed, and it's just been in legal hell ever since he died in 1985. And finally, Justin, this thing is going to get released. It's going to actually be on Netflix in 2018.
How have I not been made aware of this film?
I didn't know it was coming out this
Dude.
year. I mean, I knew about
Holy
the film
shit.
because I love Welles so much, but I didn't know that like they finally had like they secured all the funding they need, and they've got a whole fucking crew of editors, of everybody they need, all these technicians and everything. Welles apparently did detailed editing notes for the film, even for the portions he didn't finish. So, you know, they're going to give it their best. And Welles apparently edited about 40 minutes of the film before he died. But
So, dude, is this getting a theatrical release? Do you know?
like I said, Netflix is releasing it, so I'm not sure. I really have no idea. But regardless, it's Orson Welles, and I fucking love Orson Welles. And like the fact that this finally, you're talking over 40 years since this film wrapped principal photography, it is finally going to see release. All these, go to the Wikipedia page for this film and read through the production history of this film. The amount of legal shit that this film has gone through between Wells's estate, his daughter, and his mistress, you know, that he left like all sorts of portions of his estate to for decades. It's insane. But finally seeing release, Orson Welles, The Other Side of the Wind. I am so fucking excited. I don't even care. I am so excited for this movie. I literally about came in my pants, dude.
I legit didn't even know this was actually happening. I'm shocked that I hadn't even heard of this until you mentioned it.
Like I said, I knew the film existed because I've read through like all the different stuff that Welles left in various stages of incompletion during his life after he died. But this film, like I said, this film was shot. Everything was completed, but it was just never edited and released because they couldn't secure funding to finish, you know, putting it out there. And man, it's crazy. It's just insane, dude. I cannot wait. Oh man, I'm so excited. So fucking excited.
I know you're hating. I know you're a hater. I know you hate on me for this, but you know what? I really don't care because of the simple fact that... Thank you, Tommy. If you were here right now, I'd want you to be my daddy. No, for real, though. I can't tell you enough. This is my number 1. There's a lot of reasons why. because of the simple fact that the slasher genre is my favorite of the horror genre of all time. We are getting a new Halloween movie by a bunch of talented filmmakers, and we have Jamie Lee Curtis back again as Laurie Strode, and I have very high hopes for this. All I want is something very simple. I'll make this clear. A Halloween film is not hard to make. Okay? Stalk, babysitter, boogeyman. Stalk, babysitter, boogeyman. Wide shot. I really wish that they would have gotten Dean Cundy back in the director of photography chair for this. I don't know at this point because they have not started shooting it yet. Let's make this clear. It starts shooting the end of this month. It was supposed to start shooting in October. They delayed it. David Gordon Green is directing this thing, which is not a guy that you would think of that would be directing a slasher film or a Halloween film. Okay, let's make this clear. Pineapple Express, you ever heard of it? Okay. All right. It is what it is. I'm very, very excited about this movie. I can't tell you enough. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Loisos and I, Nick, if you recall, in October, we did a whole thing on it the night he came home. We did a whole little segment on the show because your ass edited it. But you can hate on it all you want, Nick. I know you have a lot to say about shitting on
ganging up on me.
Jamie Lee coming back, but I love this franchise. Halloween is in my top 5 films of all time. I can't fucking wait.
Oh, good for you.
Now, Christian, that was not called for. I'm sorry, Justin. I don't know how he got in here. I don't know what happened there. No,
I can't wait for Hostiles as well. Hostiles is very anticipated as well, but that's
definitely
next week,
not
so
on my list, of course. I mean, I just don't look forward to horror films like you do. And, you know, I'll probably definitely watch it and, you know, see if it surprises me.
You will watch it. Or else Daddy will whoop you.
Or you'll put a poll on the page. Should Nick see
That's
this
right.
movie?
Our fans will speak. But no, for real, though. You understand, though. I know you at least appreciate why I'm so excited about this. I know you care
agree,
about
Paul.
it.
I agree. How dare you?
Paul wants to see it, too. So.
Oh, I know Paul wants to see it. Definitely. Oh, my God. So, yeah, number 1, Halloween. All right, there it is. Those are the lists, Justin. Do you have any honorable mentions to try to sneak in there, aside from the ones that I had on my list that you already mentioned?
I certainly do, actually. Isle of Dogs is one you already talked about.
Yep.
The Strangers 2, which comes out next month, I believe, which is a sequel to one of my favorite home invasion slashers ever of all time. Red Sparrow with J-Law actually looks really good to me. I love the trailer. It looks very atmospheric. I hope it's better than Atomic Blonde. Please be better than Atomic Blonde. Black Panther's on there as well for my boy Chadwick Boseman. That's it for right now. And you know what? I didn't put these on there for the simple fact that I could have seen these, but Phantom Thread and Call Me By Your Name, they're here. I could be seeing them. I could have saw them before the new year, and I have not seen them yet. So they're films I want to see, and I plan to see before the Oscars, but they're not on like an anticipated list because I've had the chance and I've just been lazy.
I have not had the chance. So Phantom Thread and The Post both make my honorable mentions because they didn't go into wide release until this month. Unfortunately, I just haven't had the chance to see them yet. They're not out here yet, but I didn't put them on my main list because I know they already got the limited release in 2017 to qualify for award season. So they're already definitely out there in the public space. So I didn't want to put them on there. Another film that apparently its release date is up in the air. There are rumors out there that say that it could be released in 2018, but most people think that it's probably still going to land in 2019. It's Martin Scorsese's The Irishman. I heard rumors, maybe they might have it ready for award season and might try to get it out for like a December, like a limited release, but nobody knows because they're going to have to de-age people for all the, past sequences when they're playing the younger selves. So, probably still going to bow in 2019. So I didn't throw it on the list proper. I also threw Incredibles 2 on here. Brad Bird, 14 years after the original film, coming back. I also threw Hold the Dark. This is Jeremy Saulnier's follow-up to Green Room, Justin, where Alexander Skarsgård is going to be in this film. Just won a Golden Globe last night for Big Little Lies. Really, really cool. And then I also put Mowgli on here. This is Andy Serkis taking the director's chair for the first time to do the Jungle Book, but apparently it's going to be much different, much darker than the Disney one that we got in 2016. Christian Bale's popping up in this. Cumberbatch is Shere Khan. Kate Blanchett's in it as well. Serkis plays Baloo. So it'll be interesting to see how that film kind of compares to the one that Disney just did a couple years ago. I think it was supposed to come out last year, but they
it was.
it.
They pushed it back. I think
because of the Jungle Book that Disney did, they decided to push it back to give a little bit of space between the two. But I mean, I love Andy Serkis. There's going to be obviously Serkis's mocap studio is going to be involved in doing the motion capture for the animals and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see what happens there with the motion capture versus what Disney did with the, you know, the kind of photorealistic CGI that we got with the animals. I think it's going to be interesting. And yeah, like I said, much darker apparently. So yeah, that's our list of most anticipated of 2018. Let us know over in the Hopesters Dumpster on the reaction thread for the post what you think.
And I have to tell you what I think right now, Nick.
No.
You actually opened me up. Well,
Fuck
okay.
off, Justin.
No, Dan. That's not nice. That's not how you talk to your elders. Your elders will kick your ass right in front of your mama. Right in front of your girl. You'll be on the floor flat. You'll be on the curb with your teeth munching the curb real hard. No, in reality, though, I'm very appreciative of the fact that you did a lot of hardcore homework on your list, because so many of these movies that are on your list sound so fucking great, or they're movies that I actually knew about that we posted to the page and I totally forgot about because, you know, days go by.
Just a lot of the talent involved in a lot of these just has me too excited.
Yeah.
And, you know, blockbusters really have let me down over the past couple of years. So, I mean, probably the biggest film that I have in my entire list is Deadpool 2. That's probably going to be the biggest one out of all of these releases. We are going to run into a quick break, and when we get back, it's going to get nuts.
You want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts. We'll be right back.
This week in epic film history. So you're number 3, Justin. We're getting down there.
Oh, man. It is Fede Alvarez's Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
And I thought this film was absolutely brilliant. Nick, what's it your number 3, baby?
All right, I'm going to cop some flack for this. I gave Justin so much fucking blue balls after this. I went so far as to troll the shit out of him on Facebook last night after it won 7 Golden Globes and put a throw-up emoji on there. This was Damien Chazelle's La La Land. Are you fucking kidding me? This movie's amazing. I about came in my fucking pants watching this thing. This thing was so good from that opening musical number. Paul's listening to this right now and he's like, musicals are shit. Fuck you, Paul.
My number 2 is Shane Black's The Nice Guys, which also sports.
Wow. You know what? I knew this was going to be on your list.
Ryan
I was surprised I hadn't heard it yet.
Yeah, it was, you know, you go to the movies for a reason. And this is, all these films,
this
I
is
saw
why.
at the movies,
This is why.
And I want to be entertained. I want fun. I want great chemistry between these characters. I want great written characters.
Fuck, was that
I want a great
movie good.
script. I want great cinematography. And I want everything that you'd want. And, you know, Nice Guys was completely underrated for me. It was critically well received. Nick loved it. I loved it. We both talked about it. Loisauce loved it. And, you know, it made no money. It was put up against Neighbors 2
so fucking
and a couple of movies. I'd love to see a sequel.
One of the best movies of the year. My number 2, Justin, is a film that you already talked about way criminally low on your list. I ought to come through this microphone and hit you, smack you up, send the ape man down there to beat the shit out of you.
There ain't no ape man. It's a man in a suit, not a real gorilla.
You're trying to run an efficient police force, and you can't catch a third-rate hoodlum who masquerades as a monkey. I was blown away by this fucking film. I absolutely loved it. It's 10 Cloverfield Lane, dude. I fucking love this movie. John Goodman's performance being missing from award season baffles the shit out of me because he's so brilliant.
La La Land is the reason you go to the movies.
Yeah.
I was entertained. I was sad. I was happy. I felt emotional. I was energetic. I loved the performances. I loved the cinematography. I loved the songs. Every single thing about why you love a movie, I loved about La La Land. And I'm totally shocked at myself that this is my number 1 film of the year for 2016. This is not the norm for me. I love old school musicals. I do watch them from time to time, but I'm not the musical guy on the show. Nick totally is, but I love them. I do watch them all the time. And when I sat down to watch this movie, I was totally just blown away.
One more film to go, and that is my number 1, Justin, and I already know you know what it is. And I was fist
coming.
pumping in my fucking
coming.
seat last night when I was
It's
watching
coming.
the Golden Globes. I about leapt out of my fucking seat when Viola Davis won for Best Supporting
I knew
Actress.
it. I
It's
knew it.
Fences, baby. Right now, this is absolutely number one, the best film that I saw this year. Nothing blew me away more than the performances of Denzel Washington and Viola Davis in this film.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Epic Film Guys podcast. And that's right. Guess what?
I don't know what there is to laugh about.
We're about to get nuts.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
We're going to get nuts. That's right. We're giving away another digital code on the show. All you have to do, I'm going to ask you a question. Question you have to answer is very simple. But to answer this question, you have to go over to the Hopesters Dumpster. If you're not already following us on Facebook, head on over to facebook.com/epicfilmguys and ask to join the Hopesters Dumpster so you can answer this question. You'll get a digital code. Ooh, what are you going to get? You don't know yet. But here's the question. Boom. Who was originally attached to direct the film Interstellar before Christopher Nolan came in and overtook the project to direct? Again, who was the original director that came in, was going to direct Interstellar before Christopher Nolan came in to oversee the project and ended up directing? All you have to do is come on over to the Hopesters Dumpster, our official Facebook group, and be the first one to answer it correctly, and you will get a brand new 4K digital code of Interstellar.
Ooh.
That's it. And Nick, you had something too you wanted to give away other than Loisauce's body, right?
Well,
it wasn't Loisauce's body?
We're definitely giving away Loy Sauce's body. Yeah, there he is.
I mean, it's up for grabs, but there's something else you wanted to give away to our
That's
listeners.
right, ladies and gentlemen. We are giving away 1 month of the Epic Film Guys Patreon. 1 month to one lucky listener. So if you're already a patron, you don't need to enter this contest because why would you? But you can win 1 month exclusive access to all of our extended cuts, all of our extra content that's all over on our Patreon page. And all you have to do, I'm going to put up a Google document. This is going to be separate. Over in the Hopesters Dumpster, I'm going to put up a Google document so you submit your answer there. I'm going to give it, say, what do you think, Justin? 48 hours from when the episode drops? We'll do 2 full days. 48 hours from when the episode lands. All you have to do is tell us what the original name of the Epic Film Guys podcast was, because it wasn't the Epic Film Guys podcast originally, Justin. You remember, I remember, it was something different when we first started. And you might have to go back to the old EFG video days.
That's going to be tough, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's like a chore. But you know what?
Yeah, this is going to
The
be
people
for
that I know
deep cuts,
that care
man.
about this show, they're going to find it. They're going to go for it hardcore. And you know what? I feel like a lot of these people will just be looking forward to the fact that they can have Loy Sauce as their slave.
We're also giving away Loy Sauce.
Little does Loy Sauce know that he's going to be shipped off in a small crate, like a small little wooden box, off to whoever asks for him week per week. And no, thank you for
With
real.
your very own Loy Sauce.
He's very great. He actually delivers drinks in a perfect fashion. You just have to teach him how to make the really good old fashions. I know Nick likes his bourbon. Loy Sauce still doesn't. He's not quite there yet, but you know, he's learning. So, but no, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for listening to the show. And every
You guys
week we're
are
going to be giving
amazing.
away stuff. We're going to be nuts. We're going to be getting nuts.
Ooh, baby. We've got so much. Justin's got so many digital codes to give away. We're going to keep throwing out just a free Patreon. We're going to keep throwing out free stickers. We had 2 people win stickers last week. I just ordered a bunch of t-shirts tonight.
I just want you guys to be aware. Just wait for next week because there's a little digital code that was on my list last week for a little movie. Beep, beep, Georgie. You want a balloon, Georgie?
Ooh, baby. Wow.
Yeah, there may even be a new digital code for the brand new 4K version of it next week. be prepared. We're giving away stuff all the time. I just want to give you
Throwing
everything.
it away. Just take
If I could just jump in your bed with you and your wife or your husband or whatever naked, I just want to jump in there with you guys together and just cuddle you and hold you. Yeah, some sausage right in your mouth. You'll enjoy it so much. But
we're giving away, and not to mention, Justin, the biggest Epic Film Guys prize pack we have ever offered.
It's so big.
T-shirts, pint glasses, stickers, other stuff I haven't even thought of yet. Digital codes for the entire.
Nick, you're not thinking of an Epic Film Guys dildo, are you? You're not getting that made, are you?
Well,
I mean, that could.
I had one special ordered, but then Loisos demanded I send it to him, and I haven't seen it since. I have no idea what happened to that thing. But yeah, the digital codes for the entire 4K Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy, and who knows what else. We're going to throw a ton of stuff into this prize pack once we hit 100 reviews on iTunes. So if you're a listener of this show, get over to iTunes, subscribe to the show. That helps us out a lot. And review the show. Throw us a review. We appreciate 5 stars, but if you want to take a few stars away because you're sick of that filthy fucking hobster taking over our Twitter, literally.
And luckily, he didn't make the show this week. I mean, I feel like he's probably still drunk from last night.
He probably is. He drank a lot.
Seriously.
According to that Twitter, he drank a lot.
I had a feeling that he may even have been actually at the award show, at the Golden Globes. Like he hijacked someone. He made his way out there. I don't know.
He may have been, but yes. Throw us a review over on iTunes. Once we hit 100 reviews, and I should mention that this is in the U.S. Once we hit 100 reviews in the U.S. Now, anybody that has ever given us an iTunes review will be eligible for the prize pack. But this is just for 100 reviews in the U.S. We want to hit that milestone. Please get over there. If you have never reviewed us on iTunes, subscribe to the show, give us a review, and you will be entered to win. Everybody that's ever reviewed us is entered to win a prize pack. So get over there and let's make it happen. Let's give away a ton of EFG swag, Justin. And speaking of giving away EFG swag, last year in May, we did a little event called the Live Stream for the Cure. And not only, Justin, did we raise almost $2,500 for cancer research, we gave away over $200 worth of EFG swag and other prizes, and we're going even bigger this year, even bigger and better. I'm still forming all of the plans for the Live Stream for the Cure. We're settling on a final date, on a final weekend right now, but this is going to be a multi-day event. We're so excited. We are going to aim for that goal, and we are going to thrash it, destroy it, smash it, throttle it, and raise a ton of money.
A plan is forming, Nick.
Research. A plan is forming.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. We're doing it again this year.
Just the pussy I've been looking for. Why don't I have any return sound drops on the soundboard?
I don't know, man.
That's going to be another thing. I think next week on the show, I think we're just going to have to give away sound drops, Justin. We're going to have to give away your chance to be a part of the Epic Film Guys and add your own sound drop to the board. But we'll have details on that coming next week, Justin, when I don't even know what the fuck we're doing.
Who knows what we're doing? That's the funnest part about this podcast.
We have to see
we're not like other shows. We just like to
whatever.
be a spontaneous, spur of the moment kind of thing. And
we're going to review The Room
Nick's gonna hate.
again.
With Tommy Wiseau. Actually, well, we might even have a special guest later on during the month. We'll see what happens. But you know what, guys? So appreciative of you guys sticking with us here in the new year, 2018. Epic Film Guys, we've been doing our thing, man.
This year, Justin, 3 years of this podcast in July.
I can't believe it.
It's amazing.
So amazing. We love you guys. We love our Podfix network as well. If you're not interested in other shows, you should be. You should be checking out our other brethren, our brother and sister podcasts in the Podfix network. Go check it out, man. They're all over the place.
Check out Podfix Presents network-specific content where we collaborate on content all the time. They did the Fantasy League. Jake and Tom Conquer the World are doing Wizard Rewind. Dan and Caleb from Netflix and Swill have a review of Hectic Knife up there, some indie that they got a screener for, all sorts of fun stuff planned. Super Movie Brother Dave has a Star Wars discussion coming up. So many amazing shows are part of this network. I'm going to be on a few of those shows coming up in the coming months. Stay tuned for news about that. Stay tuned for news about a ton of other Epic Film Guys things. We are aiming, Justin, to make 2018 the biggest and best year of EFG yet. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Baby. It's going to happen. Justin, you could say...
Winter is coming at last.
Exactly.
Well, it's especially happening right now because there's freezing fucking rain and ice all over the roads down here. But I got to tell you guys again...
Freeze is over.
I'm freezing over right now, but thanks so much. We love you guys.
You guys
love you,
are
Nick.
amazing. Thank you very much for listening. For myself, for Justin, you guys are literally amazing. Thank you very, very much for listening.
And thank you, you fucking piles of shit. I fucking hate all of you. I'm the real king of this podcast. I'll rule this shit and I'll live it forever. I'm the one making all the money off this. These two assholes ain't making nothing off of it. I'll see your ass at the dumpster.
This was a podcast from the Podfix Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.